And this is important to understand, I think, for people who are in medical school and are going through this. So the way it works is, you do your fellowship and you do your residency. When you're doing these things, you're being paid by the ACGME, which is the Graduate Medical Education body. And then once you finish that up, they still need to pay your salary. And the way programs do it, for example, this is what happens at UVA. There's a T32 funding, which is an NIH grant that supports you. But that only supports you for like a couple of years. Then you got to go out and actually get some big boy funding, and that is the K grant. The K grant really sort of helps you transition to faculty. So you start being a fellow and you start being a professor, assistant professor typically. So that part is very difficult. I think the number is that only 1 in 40 people get it the first time round, and then of course your odds increase when you reapply. So that's a very challenging venture, getting a K. And then once you've gotten a K grant, you become a more seasoned researcher. Then you start applying for other more mature grants. And those are like they're called R01s and R21s. And these are the kind of grants that are sort of the senior level of grants. So these are extremely challenging. And you really need to put in a lot of work to get these, have a novel idea that is also feasible. So it's a very delicate dance, and unfortunately, a lot of researchers actually spend. Some people say that they spend 40 to 50% of their times applying for grants, and that's unfortunate, right? Because that's the time you could be spending doing research. So, and that is actually one of the big frustrations of being a researcher, is obtaining grant funding. That said, again, I will say my colleagues at UVA are extraordinary and are some of the best funded people I know. And they are best funded because they are just solid researchers and good human beings who do an excellent job.